At a certain moment, without warning, this strange feeling creeps in. A feeling that you are tired, not because life is harsh, but because you have been resisting it for too long. As if there has been an inner tension you only just noticed, a tension that keeps you perpetually on guard, in a state of defense, in a constant attempt to correct what needs no correcting. We learn, without anyone explicitly telling us, that resistance is strength, that we must confront, prove ourselves, hold on to things before they slip away. And over time, this tension becomes our normal state, until we forget how it feels to simply let something be. Not because we have surrendered, but because we have stopped engaging in the invisible struggle. This video is not calling you to abandon life, nor to withdraw from it. Rather, it opens a deeper question. What happens when you do not oppose the experience, when you do not push the moment away, nor try to change it immediately, nor escape from it in the name of wisdom, fear, or hope? You might discover that resistance was not protecting you, but was instead shielding you from something quieter, truer, and more present. Stay here a little while. Let the words pass without clutching onto them. What we are approaching now is not a new idea, but a space you have been bypassing every time you tried to be stronger than necessary. Resistance does not begin as a conscious decision, but as a small internal movement that occurs the moment we are dissatisfied with what is present. A feeling arises and we try to push it away. A thought unsettles us and we replace it with another. A reality displeases us and we tighten our grip on it beyond what it can bear. With the repetition of this behavior, pushing becomes a habit, and the habit turns into a constant tension we no longer notice because it has become us. We resist pain assuming it will disappear, yet we prolong its stay. We resist fear, and in doing so, give it a larger form. We resist sorrow in the name of strength, so it seeps into the depths where we cannot see it, yet it continues to influence us. Thus, invisible layers of tension accumulate until simply existing becomes an effort, and the simplest moments feel burdened by a heaviness whose origin we do not know. Strangely, this resistance does not change what is happening as much as it changes our relationship to what is happening. The experience passes, but we pass through it contracted, tightened, in a state of constant readiness. It is as if we live life holding our breath, waiting for the moment we allow ourselves to relax, but it never comes, because we never learned how to allow. At its core, resistance is not a rejection of life, but a fear of it. Fear of feeling fully, of losing control, of discovering that some things cannot be managed by force nor resolved by confrontation. And so we cling to what we know, even if it exhausts us, because the unknown that comes with stopping seems more dangerous than the familiar pain. But what we do not see at this stage is that ceasing resistance does not mean everything will fall apart. It may mean, for the first time, that you will feel what is happening without carrying more than you can bear, and that you will experience the experience as it is, not as fear tells you it will be. And here, at this precise point, transformation begins to draw near, not because you did something different, but because you began, for the first time, by not doing. And when this internal activity recedes, when the urge to push, correct, and control lessens, something happens that is usually not noticed at first. Not an explosion, nor a sudden revelation, but a quiet emptiness, like a space that was always occupied and is now suddenly vacant. Within this emptiness, you begin to notice things that were not visible before, because the noise had been covering them. The sense of time slows, not because the minutes have changed, but because you are no longer chasing them. Your breath deepens without you trying, and your body softens, as if finally given permission to be as it is, You feel as if you are descending from a long state of alertness onto safer ground, ground where you do not need to defend your existence. In this state, difficult emotions do not disappear, but they change. They are no longer enemies, but movements. They are no longer something to be fixed, but something to be noticed. Sadness is seen without a story. Fear is felt without dramatization, and anxiety passes like a cloud that does not ask you to chase it or drive it away. Everything is allowed to appear, and because of this, it begins to transform on its own. This is the essence of ceasing resistance. It is not about abandoning your feelings, but about ceasing to oppose them. It is about letting the experience breathe within you instead of surrounding it with your interpretations, as if you were saying to the moment, "Be as you are, and I will remain present." And with this presence, a clearer awareness emerges, an awareness that does not interfere, does not judge, does not compare. An awareness like a gentle light passing through things without changing their shape, yet making them clearer. In this light, you begin to see yourself without struggle, without defense, without trying to improve the image. And here, little by little, meditation transforms from a practice into a state that does not require a special posture or words, but only the sincerity of stopping. Only allowing yourself to be with what is present now, as it is, where it is. And in this simple allowing, deeper doors begin to approach opening. And with this quiet opening, a new feeling begins to emerge. A feeling not based on control as you once knew it, but on a deeper trust. A trust that needs neither tightening nor proving. It's as if you suddenly discover that strength was never in resistance, but in the ability to remain present without crumbling and without hardening. You feel more steady, not because everything has become clear, but because you no longer tremble with every thought or feeling. What happens within you no longer swallows you, and what happens around you no longer pulls you away. A conscious distance has quietly arisen, a distance that gives you balance without detachment and closeness without drowning. In this balance, the meaning of control changes. It no longer means controlling events, but being rooted in yourself no matter how events change. To know that you can feel without getting lost and go through an experience without losing your center. This kind of strength does not raise its voice, yet it is present in every breath, in every quiet choice, in every moment you are not drawn into a reaction that isn't true to you. The peace that appears here is not the absence of movement, but the absence of struggle. Life continues to move, change, surprise you, but you no longer meet it with inner tension. As if something in you has become wider than the details and deeper than the fluctuations. And this expansiveness does not come from escape, but from containment. You feel that you are standing at the center of your circle once again, not on the margins, not in a race. A center that allows you to see clearly, to choose slowly, to say yes or no without tension. In this center, you regain your inner sovereignty, not as control over the world, but as peace with the self. And here, you realize something both simple and profound. That when you stopped resisting life, you did not lose your strength. You regained it in a purer, quieter, and steadier form. From this place, moving forward becomes different. Not a rush, but a presence. Not a struggle, but a harmony that expands with every new conscious breath. And with this expansiveness that now settles within you, it becomes clear that what has happened was not a change in life, but a change in how you meet life. Everything around you may appear the same, but you are no longer the same person looking at it. There is a new quiet in the depths, a quiet that does not depend on circumstances, nor does it crumble at the first tremor. You now understand that ceasing resistance was not abandonment, but a return to that part of you which knows how to be present without harshness, strong without rigidity, aware without detachment. That part which does not need a battle to feel its worth, nor a victory to feel secure. And with this understanding, your relationship with everything that appears in your experience shifts. Emotions are no longer signals of danger, but messages. Thoughts are no longer commands, but phenomena that pass. Even challenges are no longer threats to your peace, but invitations to root yourself more deeply in this inner center you have discovered, a center that is not given, but reclaimed. In this place, peace becomes an active state, not a stillness, a peace that allows you to move without losing yourself, to change without coming apart, and to live the human experience fully without disappearing from it. A peace that does not ask you to be different, but to be present as you are. And when you carry this peace with you beyond this moment, it begins to appear in the small details, in the way you listen, in your calmer reactions, in the space you give yourself before you answer, before you judge, before you resist. This is how real transformation takes root, not in a single moment, but in gentle, conscious choices that repeat themselves. So do not try to cling to this state. Let it come and go. Let it form and dissolve. For the more you allow it to be free, the easier it returns to you. For presence is not grasped, it is lived. And at the end of this journey, you may discover a simple yet essential truth. You did not need to become stronger, only to stop fighting. And life, when not resisted, is not broken, but met, held, and lived with a depth worthy of who you truly are.